amazing things in the Hult Prize. And 2 of these 3 that I say come from undergrad. So, exactly. You guys have a great reputation in the Hult Prize organization, and I'm excited to see how we do this year as well. So, what's really cool about the Hult Prize is it came from someone who not too long ago was in your shoes. The founder of the Hult Prize is a Hult alum who had this fantastic idea of why should making money and making an impact be mutually exclusive? Why can't we build businesses to help support this process? And that's not So now in its 11th year, the Hult Prize continues to grow leaps and bounds. And even in the 3 years since I've been with Hult, it's amazing to see how much this process has grown. As you can see, millions of students are participating. 250,000 startup businesses have now been generated through this process. Over 200,000 annual applications. So more than 45% of an increase year on year because this idea and this movement is growing. And the first step of this process, because it is a competition level based process, is to have an in-house competition, which is what I want to talk to you about today. Where does this come from? Well, each year a challenge is presented to participants of the Hult Prize from former US President Bill Clinton. And does anyone know what this year's challenge is?
A startup that helps the environment by making money, pretty much very open.
Yeah. Needless to say, global warming is a huge crisis facing our planet and our world globally, no matter where you live. And so this year's challenge is to build a startup that has a positive impact on our planet with every dollar earned. I hope you're all up for the challenge. So for a little bit of inspiration, I'm gonna switch over here and show you a little video from Hult Prize to inspire you a little bit as you prepare your teams and your businesses.
Inherent in every fundamental particle, which makes up everything in our world, is something called a magnetic moment. Each one is essentially a small magnet with a direction and a power to influence the world. The problem is that in most things, each one's direction is arbitrary, so their potentials cancel one another out, and the sum of the whole is nothing. Something only becomes magnetic, capable of that magical force that normal things lack, when all of the individuals that make it up are aligned. That potential to influence the world is inherent in everything, and lives inside each and every individual, but it only emerges, it only becomes powerful when those individuals share one common aim.
I can picture us in our messy, tiny dorm, just studying for finals, when he came and he told me, listen, there's this Hult Prize competition. Are you in?
The poster was actually stuck up on one of the walls.
I heard about it in the news. One of the teams had won right in my backyard.
We were introduced to the competition by our campus director.
I watched the live stream of the Hult Prize finals in my campus dorm room.
An email from a friend that, of course, he didn't know and I didn't know was about to change my life.
It literally changed my life from wanting to be an investment banker to pursuing a life of impact.
All these passionate young people who want to affect change but aren't sure how. And all of a sudden you have this organizing force that orients all of those vectors for all of those people from all around the world towards that common purpose with a common structure, with a common objective.
I was just like any other student. They don't have their north clear. After the Hult Prize, I was completely different.
From the outside, you may not really understand it, but when you come to the inside and you see this catalytic transformation.
At that moment was a moment that we realized that Hult Prize was the most amazing tool that we had to start something that would change our life.
This is not about the competition at all.
We exist to change your trajectory on what you believe is possible and what you believe is impossible. And then
they turn from pessimists to people who look around them now looking for problems that they can solve. How can they be part of the solution?
It's time we have solutions that really scale and cause momentous impact around the world.
If we don't do it, no one's gonna do it for us.
That kind of impact or effect on human beings, on young people, I have never valued anything.
I don't even have words for the magnitude, dedication, and passion behind what they bring. It's so inspiring.
And it won't leave them. It becomes a core part of who they are.
These individuals are going to be different human beings by the end of it.
All these different people coming together,
All working towards a better future, a better tomorrow. It's not just words.
An army of people.
More than a competition, more than friends, a family.
A global social movement that can change the lives of millions of people.
this is the stuff that changes countries, that changes the world.
That is the whole point. The community. That is Hult Prize.
Sometimes you find yourself very small. You think that you can't do anything in this world, but when you meet Hult Prize, you feel so big. Your intelligence, your passion, your love for the world can change lives.
The power to influence the world lives inside each of you, each of us, where it's always been. But if you want to make magic, create alchemy, have real impact, you have to pull people together toward a common aim. That's what we've learned over the last 10 years. So the invitation, the question we ask you to consider if you plan to change the world, is what's your North Star? And who's coming to find it?
All right, who's feeling inspired? I am. No, just me? Just me and these guys? Come on. So that is a little bit of understanding about what Hult Prize is, what the impact is, and what the mission in front of you now looks like. So I want to talk a little bit about what it takes to build one of these social enterprises. From the Hult Prize, specifically, they wanted us to focus on these core elements: profit-minded, market-driven, and impact-centered. These guys are nodding their heads. It's all coming back, right, guys? All right. So remember, there's no separation between doing good and making profit, and making sure that it's sustainable. Now, a little bit of understanding your timeline. So as I mentioned, the first thing that we're going to talk about is our on-campus competition. They just released the case the 1st of October, so a few weeks back. We are asking, oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. Thank you, everyone. It's very sweet. Each of you now have the opportunity to create teams. The teams that you want to be your co-founders, that you want to go through this journey with. We're giving you until November 1st to submit those teams. And information will be sent out to you regarding how you submit that via a form stack in the near future. Throughout that time, we wanted you to continue developing your idea and going through coaching. Coaching can consist of meeting with people who have maybe been through this process before. I'd like to volunteer my careers team, as we are happy to meet over your presentation, or even professors or external coaches that you can bring into the fold. We're asking you to submit your proposal by the 5th of December for our campus competition happening Saturday, the 7th of December at the postgraduate campus. Questions about that? Okay, we'll go more in depth on that in a minute. And then finally, the winning team of our campus competition, and yes, it is undergrad and postgrad combined, will go on to the regional London competition, which I believe is happening in March. Now, to go a little bit further, once we're done with our campus competition on the 7th of December, the winner of that campus competition will go on to the regional competition in March, then to the Hult Prize Accelerator, which takes place in the summer, and I believe it'll be happening in Boston this year. And then Finally, it's what, the final 6 teams?
Final top 6.
Final top 6 teams will be invited to the United Nations in New York City to compete for the final prize. And what is that final prize? $1 million. $1 million in seed capital to get your business off the ground and running. So a few notes as you are starting to build your teams and your co-founders. We're looking for 3 to 4 members per team, and they must be from the same school. Now, with that in mind, doesn't mean that they all need to be undergraduate students. So as I have people at the postgraduate campus from MIB all the way up to executive MBA showing interest in looking for teams, I'm happy to connect everyone together. A big suggestion, let's see, 10-minute pitch. That will be the competition. You will have a total of 6 minutes to perform your pitch in front of judges, leaving 4 minutes for your Q&A about your company. 1 winning team per Hult campus city will then go on to the regional. So what does our December 7th competition look like? So this is a little estimation, and we're using the saying that we have 30 teams participating. I'm hoping for more. You guys want to prove me wrong on that, then that would be fantastic, right? I want more teams. So around midday, we'll start the preliminary round, where there'll be 3 rooms. Again, we have more classrooms should we need them at postgrad, with 10 rooms per team and 3 judges. 2 teams from each room from the preliminary round will go on to the finals. The finals will take place in the evening in the postgraduate atrium. There'll be 6 teams and 9 judges, so all the judges will have a say. And from that, you will not know until I call your name if you're coming up to present in front of the judges and all of the participants in the atrium. So it's a very last minute thing. The winner of that will go on to the regionals. Now do keep in mind that non-winning teams, this is not the end of the road for you. You can still absolutely apply online to different regional competitions. It doesn't even have to be the London regional. You can go on to Paris, for example. I know of other teams that went to Morocco to participate in regionals. So it's completely up to you, and you can really expand your reach and keep your idea going. So a few top tips for now, before we hand it over to the experts. Choose a team wisely. Diversity is part of what makes Hult great. Diversity in business is what helps you make your team great. So make sure that you're finding people with a mix of skills and experiences so that you can help support each other in areas where you might not be as strong. You can build and grow. Network, interview, learn, and partner with experts. You'd be amazed how many people are happy to support students who have gone on this journey. So reaching out for people who might have knowledge in this space and want to help contribute and give back. Both content and delivery are critical. Both weigh very evenly, so please keep that in mind as you prepare. Create a team timeline, or a timeline with deadlines. Really important to make sure that you are on path for success. And finally, agree to that plan and stick to it. I've had some teams in the past who have changed their idea 2 days before the competition, and you could tell that they weren't as prepared. Again, this is your time to be prepared and make an impact. And of course, practice, practice, practice. So, next steps, make sure you go onto the Hult Prize website and thoroughly understand the challenge this year and what the parameters are and what they're looking for. I highly recommend watching videos of past winners. You can find all of those on YouTube. And there'll be more Hult Prize information that will come available. Make sure you read it thoroughly. To help you along the way, as mentioned, my team and I actually enjoy giving you some feedback. So I'm going to have a Calendly link that I'll supply with for the people who are participating if they want to schedule some time with me or a member of my team. But also look to your professors and mentors that you might have, and let them give feedback on how they think your presentation's going and how the business idea is developing. Judging criteria coming soon. Once we have that, I will release that as well. So again, next steps. Download the challenge off the website. decide if you truly have a passion for this challenge, because it will take your time, your blood, sweat, and tears, your sleep. And those of you who are dedicated are the ones who are most successful. Again, look into your teams. If you need help finding a team, if you personally haven't found a team yet, or you're a team of 2 looking for some extra members, do let me know, and I'll start building a way that we can network across those campuses. And make sure that you register, not on the Hult Prize website, because that is in a different process. We will be opening up an event right here for our internal use. Any questions before I pass on to Dana?
Yes, if you don't make it past the first round or this year, is it a way that you can keep doing it or trying again next year?
Yes.
You're gonna try whenever.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can, go ahead.
No, I'll say that you have the compass, and even though it doesn't work, it is one of the advice that we'll give to everyone here, is that you do the compass, it will be a nice experience for you, but there is always a way to get into the prize, and it's by going on the website and applying. If you do that, you are more likely, or there is a lot of chance for you to get there. So don't, and we'll be there for you to help you in all the steps of the way.
If I may add, if you don't win affiliations also, you also have an option of wildcard entry. So even if it doesn't work out, you still have a third try to apply through wildcard and go inside the absolute leader.
And one of our teams from previous year actually made it through to the accelerator through the wildcard round. Okay. Lovely. Well then guys, you are up.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Another round of applause for Don. So, how many of you guys attended our presentation at the Majors Fair? Okay, so a lot. Okay. We don't want to do the same thing that we did the last time, but we're still sort of recycling a bit the slides. You know, it's midterms, so. But we're so happy to be here with you guys today. Again, we're going to give you a bit of an insight into what it's actually like participating in the competition, some of our struggles maybe, and even some little tips and tricks similar to what Dawn has said to you guys already since you're at your initial stages of participating. So again, that's the structure today. We're also going to introduce our new club that we're creating on campus, and it's really important that if you're doing the Hult Prize, you should definitely join the club, because we're bringing in some of the mentors and experts who were with us at the accelerator this year at Ashridge. We're planning on bringing them in on campus to already give you an upper edge and an advantage when applying to the competition. So now I'll pass it to Malika, who will talk about finding the right team.
So as Dom previously mentioned, it is really important for you guys to find the right team, and I can't emphasize on that enough, because a lot of people don't go inside the competition thinking I don't have the best idea, so I might not win, so I'll try next year, but that's not the case. The best idea doesn't win, the best team wins. The idea is just 25% of the entire competition, the 75% is your team. So a lot of things has to be considered when you choose your right team. Maybe have diversity, so from different parts of the world, so we have different experiences to bring on the table, or maybe have different personalities. Somebody could be the sunshine and be like all motivated all the time, or somebody could be really strategist, you know, like networking and like doing the things like one by one. Also, it is really important to communicate well with your team. So if you guys get along well, it's really important for you guys to find the right team if you have good communication skills. Plus, I would also want to say that in our experience, the team which went to the UN, one of the teams changed their idea in the last week. So it was not about the idea. They only went to the UN because they were the right team. So the founder said that I like the team and the team can do anything and can bring in new ideas whenever they want. So I want you guys to go to the UN because you guys can work together really well. And how will you find the right team? Simple, by joining our club. So in our club, we'll be doing a lot of team building exercises. We'll tell you more about how to find the right team, what all to look for, what all tests you guys should take together, and give you more information about it in the club. So please do join it. I think that's it.
My advice to you is to be prepared. So finding the right team is already something, but as Dawn said, practice makes perfect. But I don't believe in that. To me, it's only perfect practice that makes perfect. because you can do something for a lot of times and it will never work out because it's not the right way. And if there is something really that I've really learned during the prize, is that you really need to be prepared in advance, because there are not a lot of people that are undergraduates. You'll be faced to people that are masters, some of them that are 25 years old, big universities. So come there prepared. If you really want something, you should take everything that you have as a resource. And we are a resource, and we really want that. That's why right now we have one of the best mentors, that we have all the connections that we know. Postgraduates also try to think out of the box, because they can really add value to your business. So we already have, before we had interviews with postgraduate people, and it's those people that helped us in a way the most. They have been mentors, and this is what we want to be for you. Be your mentor and help you all the way to get where you need to be. Because there are a lot of things that I didn't know about. I want you to be there and to be really effective and to do the most of it, seriously.
Thank you, Emma. And my top tip would be have a strong why. So make sure that all of the people on your team are in it for the same reason. Do you guys just want to participate in the Hult Prize and then for the experience and to learn? Or do you want to participate in the Hult Prize to build a business? So, I mean, for the Majors Fair last time, we sort of explained our story and how originally it started just from a class project in storytelling and persuasion. So when we were choosing each other, we weren't choosing each other as, okay, we're going to be business partners. We didn't have this idea of actually making it a business. We were just thinking, hey, you know, I get along with these guys, let's do our project for storytelling and we'll see what happens. And then we just got so passionate about it, and when we'd stay on campus until 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, it didn't feel like anything. And so we're like, okay, let's participate in the Hult Prize. So for each of you, you need to have a strong why. You need to have the hunger to want to stay up all night to do it. Because if you do get promoted and you do go to the different stages of the competition, this is your life. So your idea becomes your everything from the moment that you wake up in the morning till the moment you go to bed. So it needs to be something you're passionate about. If you're not passionate about the challenge, or you're not passionate about the target market that you're doing, or you don't feel like you as a teammate can sort of have influence and sort of impact the target market, then my advice to you is still participate in the challenge to learn, but know and understand that your chances of going far in the competition are very, very low. So I can't emphasize enough, but the fact that you need to choose the right team, you need to be prepared, and I think that the biggest thing is just to have the confidence to apply. So there's no such thing as, oh, you know, we're not that good at presenting, so we're not going to do it, or our idea isn't fully developed, so we're going to drop out last minute. Because there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to say, okay, I'm interested, and I'm sure Donna's going to get flooded with emails saying, actually, due to complications, I'm sick, I'm this, which are going to be all lies because you're not prepared. So be prepared now, so you don't have to send those emails and sort of make up excuses on the way. I think it's important to recognize that our team, we actually didn't participate in the on-campus round, which was a mistake, I feel, because we could have learned by the experience and gotten more feedback and access to sort of mentors that could help us along the journey. We kind of knew that, okay, if we apply online, we could probably get a higher chance of getting in, so we're gonna just apply online, and that worked for us. So I think that for all of you, you should do the on-campus round, absolutely 100%, and you should apply online, because Hult Prize, you saw those numbers, 200,000 people. So they're really passionate about having a lot of people participate in the competition. So make sure that you apply online even if you don't get in, and don't get discouraged. Their vetting process is really, really, really easy and questionable, because they want to have the most people participate possible. They want to be able to take those videos and produce big movies and say, we're making an impact, we're changing the world. So that's the truth. If once you guys sort of have an idea, if you're struggling to find teammates, please contact us. We're gonna be here for you guys, and we're gonna help do networking sessions. Maybe we'll do some pizza nights at Benugo, but you really need to find people that can add value, and don't just choose your friends, okay? please don't just choose your friends, because you need people that know the target market. If you're doing a project in India, you need someone from India on your team. If you're doing a project in China, you need a Chinese person that speaks Chinese, has connections, and can get you help. This game, this competition, is a game of connections, and it's a game of truly, understanding your target market better than everyone else. So whenever they would ask us, oh, so in India, how many schools, what's the income, what's the willingness to pay? Our team was more credible than the other team who was entirely from New Zealand and targeting India,
Sure.
right? They didn't even have one member from India on their team.
And they've never been to India.
And they've never even been to India, so come on. You know what I mean? So for us, it's like, oh, we've been there, we have someone from our team, and she knows these people, so come join us. They want to see that you're able to have connections even at the regional stage, because they're going to ask you, okay, so if we give you $1 million, what are you going to do with the money? You need to have a plan, and you need to say, okay, we're allocating this much into marketing, this much into building our platform. And another thing we always tell people is do a pilot. Even if your idea is not 100% developed or ready, they're curious about passion. They're curious about people that have been to the country to try to introduce further market research. I mean, you could go to a country, let's say, Anders, you're doing, which country? Norway, right? So you guys can go to Norway, go into schools, go into different communities, take videos, take pictures, photograph everything. Marketing is really important with the Hult Prize, and whenever we went to the regionals in Paris or wherever we went along our Hult Prize journey, we made sure that people knew we were there. We had teddy bears with our startup logo, we had t-shirts made. We were tagging Hult Prize on our Instagram like a week before, oh, we can't wait to be there, just so they can know us before we were there. And that really helps. That's something that's strategic, that helps you with your team's branding, and Hult Prize likes that because they know that, okay, if we invite them to the accelerator, like, they're gonna shine. And Adriel was a volunteer at the accelerator for the marketing team, so he knows marketing, so hit him up, he's good.
Yeah, it's about also quality, being known as a strong team. You can try to, tag a lot Hult Prize or anything, but if there is not the quality of the content in it, showing that you really love each other, you trust and respect each other, it has a lot in it, like just the respect, the energy that you have. And I'm sure of that, even though we've said that don't specifically choose your friends, but obligatory, some of you will choose your friends. And it's totally fine. But if you choose your friends, it's because you know them. You know how hardworking they are and how straight they are about their business. So if you do that, just think through. And we've learned so much about our experience there. So however we didn't win, we win in the way that we have all the connection, we really know the tricks and how for you to plan yourself. So I'm sure that if we're doing it again, we'll go more further than that. But we are here for you now, and we really want to test out with you to show you that we can help you get the best out of it.
And one of your teams really needs to make it to the UN this year, you guys. Another alternative, and I would highly suggest this to anyone who is interested in participating in the Hult Prize. We are partnering with Callum Porter-Harris, who's the global director of the Hult Prize. He has a startup called Impact Tours, which specializes in tourism related to the globalized startup ecosystem. So with his network as the global director of the Hult Prize, he has different startups that he works with around the world, and he's reached out to us to actually invite a lot of Hult students to participate. It's up to 20 people to participate in this year's challenge in Thailand. So this is a good opportunity for you guys to test out your business ideas with the global director who decides who goes to the United Nations this January. So this is already before March. So regionals are going to be happening in March. So if you're able to show him that you're passionate and you have an idea and test out that idea with him, he's able to better know your team and sort of understand if you guys are serious about this or not. But even if you don't participate in the Hult Prize, this trip is available to everyone on campus who wants to learn about social entrepreneurship. Because everything about this trip will be about social entrepreneurship, from the accommodation to the food that you eat, to the activities that we work with. We're going to be working with 3 startups, and for those who don't come along on the trip, it's okay, because part of being in the club that we're starting, you'll still be able to have an impact on Thailand, because we're going to be doing Zoom video calls. So you'll be able to sort of still put on your CV that you were helping a startup in Thailand.
I would again say that don't worry about the idea, because we did our pilot with the idea of collecting waste, and we presented the idea of educating people at the regionals. So you can do the pilot in Thailand with any idea, don't just worry about it. And you can change again and again before the regions.
And if you don't have an idea when you want to go on the trip, that's okay, because there'll be a startup that you can work with there that's specialized in the environment. So the theme of the trip is called Our Planet. So everything is relating to this year's Hult Prize competition.
Yeah.
And actually he prepared a nice video for us. So he's really excited that we're having this info session today, and here's him. By the way, this is the team that put together the trip. They're all, each of them are Forbes 30 under 30. They've started their own companies. They're some of the best social entrepreneurs in the world, and so they've gotten together to make this trip for our students.
And these people decide who go to the event.
Yeah, these are the judges. So.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, this is Callum and Tenny from Impact Tours.
And we are here in Thailand setting up the tour kicking off 2020.
And we put together this short video.
I have to close your
Okay, thank you. So yeah, this is Callum. Oh, by the way, before I play the video, Callum participated in the Hult Prize himself and actually made it to the United Nations in 2015, or not to the United Nations, excuse me, to the Hult Prize finals. Before it used to be at a different location in New York. They just started the UN.
Initiative.
Yeah. So he's worked with Bill Clinton. He works with Bill Clinton every year in helping create the challenge. So this is the guy that's literally helped bring over 200,000 startups to life over the last 10
And
years.
he'll be living with you for 10 days with us, working on your startups before Hult Prize Accelerator or regions.
Hello everyone, this is Callum and Tenny from Impact Tours.
And we are here in Thailand setting up the tour kicking off 2020.
And we put together this short video as a sneak peek for you.
And we can't wait to welcome you to Thailand.
See you soon.
Touchdown in Chiang Mai.
Hello everyone, so just a road trip at the moment in Chiang Mai. We're on our way to the mountain, just driving up the mountain right now.
I'm gonna stop it. By the way, this trip, you're gonna be living in a farm, you're gonna be living in a homestay in a local village, you're gonna be living in a villa when we're in Bangkok. So you're gonna experience literally everything of what it's like to be a global social entrepreneur and not just stay in a 5-star hotel. You're gonna be living with the people, which is really cool.
I
planning our trip. The itinerary is already released. You can view it on their website, and talk to us afterwards about the trip. But before the end, we still have about 15 minutes to answer any questions you guys have, either about the trip or the Hult Prize, because that's why you're here. And then obviously for the trip, if you're interested, come to the information session in 1A on the 24th at 6 p.m.
Could you let us know when it is, like the trip, when it's planned?
Yeah, so it's going to be from January 7th to the 17th. So the sort of week that before we get back from winter break. And ideally, it would be good if you guys would go with your team. So your team from the Hult Prize. That way you can sort of test out your ideas and all things.
And click pictures and videos together.
So yeah, is it a Hult Prize question or?
This is about time. Like either 7 days or 11 days.
Yes.
So you can basically choose.
Yeah, so the 11 days includes a 4-day island extension tour. So you'll be on the different islands and the beach, so the beaches basically. But there are different projects you're working on. So while you're at the beach, you're working with environmental sustainability about the oceans. But while you're in Chiang Mai, you're working in the mountains and looking at sort of climate and global warming. Questions? Hult Prize?
Yes?
Is this prize included flights?
No.
Flights are excluded. From London to Thailand.
Or wherever, because the thing is during winter break, you're probably going to be home with your family, so you'll fly from here.
But the internal flights are included. Just
So yeah,
external ones are included.
all internal flights are included.
How can we sign up the club?
How can you sign up for the club? You can scan our QR code and join our WhatsApp group, and all the information for the club would be posted on the WhatsApp group itself. I'll put the QR code on the screen so you can just scan it.
Are the club meetings gonna be like Mondays at this time?
Sorry?
The club meetings, are they gonna be Monday at this time?
No, we're going to do a survey to see when people have class and don't have class and try to accommodate. I know it's hard now, so. And it won't be every week. It's just going to be a once a month event where we bring in a speaker. So just to emphasize, like if you guys don't want to go on this thing, that's totally fine. Like this is not just what the club is doing. We're organizing monthly information sessions where we're bringing in different experts from the Hult Prize to give their advice. So this is just something that's a
And
little
we
bit
also help you
extra.
find your teams, which is like the first step towards Hult Prize.
Yeah.
Any Hult Prize questions?
This is social entrepreneurship, so it's like about a prize, but also about you trying to make also a social entrepreneurship venture. So a way to do that is also to go to Thailand if you want or not. It's not that good that are going to make you the best social entrepreneur ever. So this is just a proposition for you to have a nice experience and to really immerse yourself in another culture. Just that. Yes.
I have a question related to the Hult Prize. What do you think that Hult Prize has brought you as a team during like the accelerator and through like the whole year you've been working on the challenge?
What has Hult Prize brought to us? Well, Hult Prize put us through so much. For me, it was at the accelerator especially, it was the hardest moment of my life. So I'm not typically a person to burst out into tears and feel like giving up, but Hult Prize brought me to the point where I was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, going in the forest and screaming at trees. I was introduced to meditation because I was so stressed out. I started meditating. So Hult Prize, they had like, wellness sessions. You were with us. But to be honest with you guys, this experience is going to be so tough emotionally. Also because every week you have to pitch and they expect you to create a 6-minute presentation every single week that's been adapted to that week's topic. So it's going to be 1 week sales and marketing, the next week all about financial prospecting. They're going to expect you to apply all of their knowledge that they're giving you like absolutely instantly, and you're going to need to be forming partnerships. You need to show them partnership agreements. Hey, we just contacted the government and they provided us with this letter. That's what it's all about. It's all about how are you able to take what they're saying, conceptualize it, and actually put it into practice within a short period of time. That shows how strong the team is, and that shows how you're able to truly make an impact. They want to know if they invest in you, are you going to be able to gain other investment? So that's why I highly suggest you have at least one person on your team that's able to sell, that's able to present, and that's able to close deals. If you don't have this, I'm sorry, it's going to be really rough.
To me, oh, sorry.
Do you know if it's possible to mix universities?
No, it's not.
Is it possible to apply alone and then have them work for you and not universities?
So they can still work with you and for you, they just can't go to the accelerator and participate and be on stage with you. My suggestion to work around this is there was a team from HEC Paris that one of their teammates was not from the university, but did a course at that university during the summer, so they had a certificate of saying that they were there. So yeah, there's always a way to work the system, but just keep in mind that there's also risk, because if, you know, and this was the team that went to the United Nations, by the way, pro team. So one of their teammates, Tommy, he was like way older, didn't go to the university with them, but happened to coincidentally join a course at that university, so he has the transcript to say that he was there.
Are they the insect protein group?
The insect, yeah, protein.
Yeah, they have the London region. I was there.
Yeah. So I would definitely tell you guys, watch the videos. We sort of memorized the pitches from all of the previous years, because you need to treat that even more than the Bible. Like, you need to write down everything that they're doing good, everything that they're doing bad, and you'll notice that there's a common trend in every single Hult Prize winning team, and it's simple, right? The idea that you're gonna make and create, don't think big, think very small, think very, very simple, and tell a meaningful story. If you're able to have maybe some type of personal experience to that, that's the number one, that's the best. We had that with Malika. We had her literally saying, hey, you know, this is my cousin, and we had a picture of him, and he's went through these problems, he's been unemployed. I know what it's like to have your family sacrifice everything, pay for your education, and still not receive a job. So you need to show emotion, you need to show a bit of persuasion, and also some type of personal connection.
Yeah, just add personal stories. For example, I told that my house worker earned £50 a month and spent £40 on her daughter's education, which was powerful. So people are willing to pay in India for education. That was my way of telling that as willingness to pay in my target market. So use your personal stories to actually support your argument, is what he's trying to say.
And we had the picture of the house worker too. Like, they care about pictures, because you can say 10,000 words, but a picture tells 1,000 words, and also, you know, just the videos are even more important. So if you're able to pull up a video and say, hey, and actually, while we're presenting here today, this is what's been going on yesterday in the country, so they see that you're making an impact already. So it's not, oh, I'm waiting for the million to make my impact, but it's, I'm gonna make my impact regardless or not, and with the $1 million, that's just adding gasoline to the fire.
Also, anybody can spend $1 million. Like, that's not a big deal. It's like, the value is, how do you spend that $1 million? Like, how much impact will that $1 million create on the world? That's what they want to see, not how you spend it. Like, anybody can spend money.
If I can go back to the question, what this experience has bring you as a team, I will say that it just challenged you to be a better person, but also know your teammates even better. We were living
24/7 together.
Yeah. 2 months. Yes. So this kind of things just help you know each other even better and give you great lessons. One of the things that we've done is being totally frank to each other. I don't like what you're doing, and to me, you know, it's disrespectful to the team. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. And those things, being totally frank to each other, is something that you should do, because it's not criticism. It's just not to put the person down, but just help them to be at their best. And those are the things that really help us being better version of ourselves. Like seeing the big picture. Because when you do something, sometimes you think about, oh, my part is not enough long, I need to have more, I need to speak more than the other ones. But why? Because the goal is the team to shine, to be better. If you have an accent sometimes that is too strong, let's try to work out so everybody understands you. You should speak slower, or maybe like give the best speaker the time of his life. speaking. You see what I mean? Like, this is the best speaker. So just try to keep the best out of your team. And yeah, this is a great experience because even though it's stressing to be always evaluated, because this is what happens when you're in a competition like that, you're also evaluated for the person you are. And you should be totally honest and totally clear of who you are. You should be kind because nothing beats kindness. Really showing acts of respect, kindness, really make a real difference. You don't even know why, how much. Because speaking with people, helping them when they need it the most, those people that you're competing against, they are great. They are Harvard people, they are HEC people, and they can give you so much even after. This is why we're still continuing to have relationship with them, and also the mentors. They can see that. They can see how you act with people. And this is what I was telling you. They are totally investing in the team in itself. So just try to be the best version of yourself and always remember who you are.
Thank you guys. Scan the QR code to join the club.
Yeah.
And